Good morning, good Sunday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso with a look at your forecast on this Sunday morning. We did not have the news this morning because of the World Cup final, the Women's World Cup final, Spain versus England. So we're here giving you a forecast update because we do have some things to talk about today. Everything from heat to a new heat advisory to tropical systems and very active tropics. So a lot to talk about. Let's break it down here. I want to start you off with your day planner for today. A very, very hot one out there. Temperature around 98 degrees. And especially as we get towards the afternoon and evening, we might be dealing with a few clouds around, thanks to a little tropical wave that's get to our south. It might be introducing a little more in the way of cloud cover. But that's going to be the story for us today. Big time heat. We have a heat advisory in effect for the southern half of our area until 7 p.m. today. Now, the main threat with this thing is going to be kind of that increased risk of heat stress, heat exhaustion, as the heat index values will be around 108 degrees across the area, or across the warned area there, the advisory area. So something to keep in mind for today if you have outdoor activities, heat advisory, and this is just the beginning because in the coming days, the heat is really going to be cranking across the Gulf Coast thanks to the heat dome. I want to give you a look at the forecast numbers for this afternoon, and as we can see, they're up there for sure. They're definitely near the advisory criteria. You have 105 for our forecast heat index in Gulf Shores, 106 in Fairhope, 105 in Mobile, 108 Calvert. So many areas will be dealing with a high heat index today, and over the next few days it is going to be very, very hot out there. You introduce a little bit more humidity as we get towards Wednesday and Thursday. And here are the latest numbers, almost off the chart here for our heat index. Take a look at this. Wednesday, 112, Thursday, 112 for a heat index. That is the time where we'll be dealing likely with some excessive heat warnings, because this is going to be some serious heat thanks to the ridge of high pressure that is in control across the nation. So take a look at those numbers. Big time heat expected for us here. 112 for Wednesday and Thursday. All of this is thanks to the heat dome, the ridge of high pressure that we talk about that's in control across the central United States. Looking at the big picture here, central United States completely dry. And we have Hilary now racing up the coast of Baja California and our tropical wave in the Gulf of Mexico. All of this is revolving around this dome of high pressure, this ridge located in the upper levels of the atmosphere, causing sinking air. No showers and thunderstorms able to develop in the heat dome, but around it, all the storms move. Our Hurricane Hilary moving around the ridge of high pressure, and our tropical wave to the south here also moving to the south, not impacting our area. Now, we've been talking a lot about this tropical wave that is out there. The simple thing is, it's just going to be tracking off to the west, not impacting the Fox 10 viewing area because the ridge of high pressure is there pushing it to our south and not dragging it our way. Now, we want to start off in the tropics, a very busy tropical situation right now. I want to start you off in the Eastern Pacific. This is just kind of a bigger national story going on. Hurricane Hilary about to make landfall as a Category 1 hurricane here in the Baja here in Mexico. California, just to its north there, Southern California, San Diego, Los Angeles, already seeing a lot of rainfall with this system. They're going to be getting an immense amount of rainfall. Catastrophic flooding is likely there. I want to take you to the 3D satellite of this thing. And as you can see, right now it's actually dealing with some dry air. And this is thanks to the cooler, drier, or cooler water, drier air, kind of to the west of the system, getting pulled into it. So as we can see, a little bit less in the way of thunderstorm activity near the center of the storm. The thunderstorms have been steadily decaying, and the storm has been steadily weakening throughout the day. but still major impacts expected, a lot of rain in the southwestern United States. Elsewhere, the big picture, what are we dealing with? Well, it's an active map across the entire Atlantic basin. Multiple areas that we are tracking, some with very high development chances, and there's even a tropical depression in the middle of there. This is Tropical Depression 6. It is way out in the middle of the Atlantic. This morning, it's had a little bit more of a blow-up of showers and thunderstorms. Winds of 35 miles per hour. No real changes expected with this thing. It's going to dissipate probably later today. So a very short-lived system, but it is something. We do have a new tropical depression out there. So it's Tropical Depression 6. You know, and it gathered a lot of attention as we noticed, oh, wow, there's another tropical depression. There's something that is out there. But this thing is going to be a very, very, very short-lived system. In fact, these are the Lesser Antilles right here, and it doesn't even get to it. Why? It's dealing with a lot of dry air around it. Here's a look at our enhanced satellite, and a couple of things that we can notice here. A big blow-up of thunderstorms around the center, and if you look closely, and I'll take it full for you, you can actually see the spin there near the center of circulation. You can clearly see where the center of circulation is. It's a very small system, a very, very small system, but you can clearly see a little bit of a small exposed circulation there. But recently, as of the last hour or so, it looks like some of the thunderstorms have now moved over the center of circulation. So maybe a brief period where it's kind of getting its act together, but still expected to dissipate later on today. Switching gears, we're going to move into the Caribbean now. So to give you a little perspective, Tropical Depression 6 is over here. And then this is a different tropical wave that is now entering the Caribbean, has a high chance for development in the coming days. Now, questions may be, oh, wow, this is in the Caribbean. Is it going to get closer to the Gulf of Mexico? Well, you can kind of see based on the development area here that it is not expected to come near the Gulf of Mexico. So as you can see here on the development area by the National Hurricane Center, it kind of has this right hook to it. This thing will likely turn north out of the Caribbean, causing a lot of rain for some of the Caribbean islands like Hispaniola and Puerto Rico. And I want to show you on the visible satellite what it looks like now. We are going to have a hurricane hunter that's going to go and investigate this system a little later today, because we need to actually find if there's a closed center of circulation. A lot of times what ends up happening with these systems is you have an open wave where you have winds kind of almost completing the circulation, but not quite. You're going to have winds out of the southeast, winds out of the northwest or northeast, but you are also going to need some kind of westerly wind to complete the circulation, and we need to figure out if we have that at this time. That's why the hurricane hunters will be heading out that way. Now, where is this storm going? Like I said, it's probably going to take a pretty hard right turn. All the models agree on this. So Haiti and the Dominican Republic will be under the gun for this potential tropical storm. It doesn't look like it's going to be anything very strong. It's not looking like it's going to be rapidly strengthening in the Caribbean, but it has the chance to become another name or become a named system. We will just see what ends up happening. And also, we have multiple areas out there, so kind of depends which one will be first to get a name. The next name on the list is Emily. Now let's focus on the Gulf of Mexico. Our tropical wave in the Gulf of Mexico. Few more showers and thunderstorms developing with this thing right now. It's in the far eastern Gulf of Mexico, kind of near the Florida Peninsula. It has moved off the Florida Peninsula. Still a few showers and thunderstorms near the Keys there. Has that medium chance for development in the next 7 days. Taking a look at this one on satellite, now that the sun is coming up, we get a little bit more detail. We can see This is the same situation as the Caribbean storm where it's an open wave. We don't know if we have a closed circulation yet. We'll be watching very closely to see what happens with this. I want to give you a look with our futurecast model what this thing is going to look like in the coming days. So we're staying dry for the most part, but you can see the system spinning off to our south. By the time we get towards Monday, it looks like it gets a little bit more organized. At this point for the Fox 10 viewing area, we're dealing with increased surf at the beaches, a high risk for rip currents, and maybe a coastal shower, maybe some extra clouds on our coast. That's about it for us. And this thing heads towards Texas, has the chance to develop as it gets closer to Texas. And as you can see, it kind of ramps up at the last second there on the forecast model. But by the time we get to Tuesday, this thing is already ashore over Texas or northern Mexico, kind of the Texas-Mexico border there. So maybe some beneficial rain to Texas, but no real major impacts with this system. And despite the water temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico being very warm, we're not really expecting too much rapid development out of this because this thing is rapidly moving across the Gulf of Mexico. A little bit of wind shear thanks to the heat dome, the ridge of high pressure to its north. So as I mentioned, the main thing for us, only a 20% chance for rain there on Monday. And then, of course, the high risk for rip currents on Monday and Tuesday. It's going to be a very important thing if you're down at the beaches. Keep that in mind. All right, now time to talk about this 7-day outlook. And I know what you're saying with you're seeing these temperatures very hot thanks to the ridge of high pressure. In fact, we have 103 for Wednesday. Very, very low chances for rain. The biggest chances for rain don't come until the very end of the forecast. And really, there's some disagreement on if these rain chances actually happen. Right now, we're keeping them at 30%. This is all thanks to this ridge of high pressure. This is the main piece of the puzzle that's causing all of this. The heat dome, as it's known as, sitting over the central United States. The heat alerts across the central United States just painted. I mean, everybody's under some kind of heat alert over the Mississippi Valley right now. And that's just because this is where this thing is located. So a lot of heat across the nation right now. Does it go away anytime soon? Well, it comes closer to us as we get towards Wednesday, so that's always good. That's when we're getting the really high temperatures. That's when we're going to get the high heat index as well. But notice as we get towards the very end of the forecast, it does look like it starts to retreat just a little bit there and goes off to the western United States. So maybe we lose a couple degrees. Here's a look at your 10-day outlook, and I'm going to take it full for you. And there are the big numbers. So 103s, 102s. Another 102 on Saturday. Saturday looks like another one of those hotter days. And high heat index as humidity increases with this. So get ready for the heat. If you have outdoor activities, make sure you're planning for this, especially midweek. And I know we have football. Football is going to be a hot thing as we get towards the end of this week, because I know we're starting that. And definitely going to be hot. Hydration breaks will be needed for sure. So keep that in mind for your forecast this week. Extreme heat expected. Expect excessive heat warnings. We have a heat advisory for today. That's the whole thing. And then on the other hand, we have busy, busy, busy tropics that we're tracking, but no threats to the Fox 10 viewing area from the tropics, so always a good thing there. That's your Sunday forecast, and plenty of things to talk about there. The main points, though, big time heat, tropical wave moving to our south, not really impacting us, but a high risk for rip currents coming at our Gulf Coast beaches on Monday and Tuesday. That's the forecast for you. I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso, and thank you for joining us on the live stream. We always love doing these live streams, getting to connect with you. I have the Facebook stream up so I can kind of see what's going on there. Thank you for tuning in with us here. I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso. We'll be keeping you updated throughout the day.